What is going on, review and preview fans? Back at it here with another NFL Draft Prospect Breakdown. I'm Tom Scavetta, joined alongside a very special guest, one of my favorites, co-host of mine on our seasonally college football show, Andy Hopper. Andy, how are you doing? I know you told me before you got on you had a great day today, but I'm ready to talk some NFL draft with you and chop up some film.
Yeah, man. It was a pretty good day today. Even better that I am back on review and preview. It's always a pleasure when you guys let me on the airways, especially when I get to do a show with you, my friend. Looking forward to this fall and some more from the stands. But with the draft, what a way to kick it off, especially with a guy that I've watched all year and throughout his college career. So I'm super excited to look at this tape and talk about, potentially the highest taken Illinois player since, oh God, I don't even remember when the last time we had somebody in the top 10. And I think it was the year that they had the two defensive guys go 2-3, which God was like 90, late 90s. So it's been quite a while.
Yeah, we're talking like 25 years ago. But yeah, if you couldn't tell who the prospect was, I think Andy's shirt and background should give you a hint. It is Illinois quarterback Devon Witherspoon. But before we dive into Witherspoon, quickly courtesy call, neighborhood reminder, check us out on all of our social media on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We really appreciate everyone's support. This is the first of many draft videos I'll be recording tonight personally, but I wanted to bring Andy on for this one because Andy and I have the privilege to talk about college football pretty much every week of the year. We study these prospects week in and week out on From the Stand Sports with Brian McCardle. We talk a lot of college football. We have a lot of laughs. We have a lot of arguments, heated debates. But one guy we agreed on a lot this year is the impact of Devon Witherspoon to this Illini defense. And Andy, to me, in my personal opinion, he's the best corner in this draft class. Coming from an unbiased person, I'm not an Illinois fan, but I will say that I like what I saw over the past several years. I believe he's 5'11" and a half, round them up to 6 foot, 180 pounds. He's a senior, 3 picks this year, 14 passes defended, had 2 picks his sophomore year back in that COVID season, and allowed just he allowed below a 35% completion rate in 2022. Talk to me about this guy, what your favorite trait about him is, and how he really disrupts opposing wide receivers.
I mean, he's not afraid to guard the offense's best player. Like, he goes into every situation with no fear. I think my favorite, and this isn't necessarily a trait, but my favorite part about this guy, Tom, is, he didn't start playing organized football till his junior year of high school. And then he turns around his senior year in Pensacola, Florida. He intercepts 7 balls. He's named Defensive Player of the Year, and winds up in Illinois. I think I don't even know if he had any star. Like, I think he very well might have been an unranked, no-star recruit that found his way to the Big Ten. He turns that into a consensus All-American season. The first Thorpe Award finalist in Illinois history, which was garbage that he did not win that award. The Tatum Woodson Defensive Back of the Year award in the Big Ten as well. You talk about traits. So what you're going to see from this guy in the field, I think what he'll at least make an impact quicker in the NFL is in zone coverage. Sometimes it seems that he can be a step slow in man. And I think he's going to have to adjust to that pretty quickly at this next level. So I think a big part of his success in the NFL early, I think, will depend on what kind of scheme he's brought into. But I love this kid. Tom, we talked about him all fall last year. He can help you as a run stopper. He can cover your best guy. He can intercept the ball. He can break it up. Like you said, I think it was 30% completion percentage. So get this, allowed fewer than 35 receiving yards in 11 of 12 games this season while matching up with the opponent number ones. Just like I said, he has no fear. 8th in the nation and 2nd in the Big Ten. Passes defended with 17, allowing just 3.3 yards per attempt, and only allowed 16 receptions on 54 targets as the primary defender on the season. So, I mean, this kid is hungry. This kid's ready to go. We're talking about a guy that came in freshman year that, didn't even know, you didn't know how he, made his way onto a Big Ten roster playing 2 years of high school football. Now we're looking at a top 10 draft pick.
Yeah. Essentially, that's what we're looking at, right? I mean,
Right.
I think he disrupts the catch point very well. Excellent instincts. I will say it's an excellent point you made about how he allowed 35 receiving yards or less in 11 of 12 games he played in this past season. I will say I wouldn't necessarily say this is a weakness, but it could be a flaw in the NFL. And you can let me know if you agree. He seems to be very handsy in terms of coverage within the first 5 yards. Likely because of what you said previously, he might not be the quickest corner out there. He's not slow by any means, but I think he ran a 4.42 40-yard, which is solid.
Yeah. It's still insanely fast.
Yeah.
He graded out, I think at the combine as, they give like a athletic score or something like that. And he wasn't like really near the top there as far as athleticism, I should say. But yeah, you're right. He's not slow by any means. I mean, look at a picture of him too. He's absolutely shredded. But the handsy thing, I do think it is. I think sometimes he may get caught, behind a step too, and his first instinct is to throw those hands up. Like you said, that could be a problem. You get a little bit too handsy there in the secondary in the NFL, they're going to be pretty quick to the trigger to throw those flags, and that's not going to be great. Do I think it's something that could be fixed? Absolutely.
Yeah. I think there's one other thing that sticks out to me about him, and I don't know if you've noticed this. Again, we're literally nitpicking here, which is a good thing. It just goes to show you how great this prospect really is. I have noticed, though, he bites a little bit too often on the play action and double moves specifically. If you have a good chance to beat him, it's the longer the route progresses. Obviously, with almost every corner, that's the way to beat them eventually if you have a good offensive line. But yeah, I think on the play action, he needs to improve a little bit. But overall, I do agree. He go in the top 10. It's very possible. I mean, teams like the Lions could use a corner. They just traded away Jeff Okudah. The Philadelphia Eagles could use depth. They like to play 3 corners, and with Bradbury and Slay, getting a little bit older, Witherspoon could be a viable option. The Seattle Seahawks could use somebody opposite of Tariq Woolen, and the Las Vegas Raiders could use help in the secondary as well. Where do you think, before we dive into the film breakdown here, are those some teams you think he can fall? Did you have one team in mind that you think they're the front runners to land this guy?
I think it's Detroit at 6. Like you said, they just got rid of Okudah. He's been linked to them for quite a while now, especially since that Okudah move. Right. He fits their scheme. He's got a former college teammate in Kirby Joseph there as well. I'm not going to be upset, but I will be a little ticked off that the Lions are taking all my Illini, and I'm going to have to root against them because they're in my division with the Bears. But yeah, I think my prediction would be 6. A couple months ago, I saw potentially the Bears at 9, which I would absolutely love that. But I don't know if he gets there. I think the 5 to 7 or 8 range is kind of what you're looking at with him. And I think based off of pure need at that spot, I think the Lions pull the trigger on him.
And just to put this into consideration, we saw the top 2 corners in last year's draft go at 3 and 4, respectively, and Derek Stingley and Sauce Gardner. So that's something to keep in mind as well. This class is more quarterback heavy, so you're not likely to see a corner go until at least 5 or 6 at best. And I do think it should be Witherspoon over go first. Will it be though? I'm not sure. We'll have to talk through it. But Andy, favorite part of the segment. Let's get to our film breakdown. I love to break down film. I mean, you know that. I'm a guru for this stuff. I know you are as well. Really excited to go over this. We have 6 plays. Let me just pull up the video here on my screen so we can get to it. All right. Gonna make it full screen. Yep. So this first play, again, I want you to take the folks through it, but this is a box out pick that he got against Rutgers. You can see a lot of motion here. I believe he's lined up here on the bottom part of the screen, and we'll play it here.
Yeah, so it's hard to see because he was on the bottom. He kind of lagged off a little bit. But, I mean, look at that position. Look at how he's able to get in between the receiver and the ball. It almost looked effortless. There was a little bit of a separation there, but he didn't panic. He turned, he found the ball, went up and made a play. And that is something that they have preached in that secondary here in Champaign for quite a while now, is go up and make a play on the ball. Turnovers are what they're aiming for on that defense. And I mean, that's just a great example of what, how we were talking about how he may have gotten beat on a route, but he didn't give up on the play. He turned around and made something great out of it.
Right. And his eyes were just locked on the ball the whole time too, which was great to see. Sometimes the hips positioning of a corner can be a little off. The fact I think he played 4 years of college will benefit him. But that's a great analysis, Andy. I do agree with that. Let's get into this next play, though. This is a red zone pass breakup against one of your I don't want to call it a closet team, but you have a soft spot for these guys.
So this was I think so. This would have been not last year, but the year before. Because then we hired their offensive coordinator, Lunny. So just in the guy's face the whole time. He never gave him any room. Was never able to get comfortable down in the red zone. And again, look at his eyes. From the moment he turns, when he's about 5-6 yards into the end zone, watch. His eyes are on the ball, ready to make a play on the ball, whether it's pick it off or break up the pass. I mean, the guy is elite at it.
Yeah. I mean, you could see him jump up there.
I was at this game. I remember this.
Yeah, this is the, I believe, is this against Maryland? I want to
say. Maryland.
Oh, yes. This was against Maryland. Talk about his play. He doesn't miss a lot of tackles, no? He's pretty good in open space?
No, he's very good in open space, and he will clean your clock if he wants to, if he gets the opportunity. So look at how many yards he came up to make that tackle. Just not afraid. Put your nose down. He read it the whole time. Perfect recognition on the screen there. More than 10 yards away. And he makes it there and makes a tackle before this guy can take 2 steps.
And how do the blockers not?
They didn't pick him up at all. I mean, that's on that is also on those 2 Maryland receivers right there that seemingly he just ran right through him.
It's just a lazy offense, to be honest. But, I mean, it's great pursuit, though, to take advantage of it. Not the receiver's fault, but.
Yeah, the receiver had no help, nowhere to go. Like you said, great pursuit and then just great play recognition.
Yeah, I just want to walk the folks through this again. Textbook, right? Young corners miss a lot of tackles. Not this one, though. All right. Andy, ready for the next play?
Yeah.
All right. So we have another one similar to that, and this one's going to be on Jahan Dotson, and this is very, very interesting. Again, Witherspoon, I believe he's on the upper portion of the screen. He'll come in just a moment. You can see Sean Clifford throw the football. This is a similar thing. This time the receiver gets more of a jab on him, but he pretty much just gets by it. And
good night.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go.
That's Jahan Dotson, Andy.
Yeah, that guy is playing on Sundays right now at a high level. Oh, this So again, it comes down to he was able to recognize the play within, what feels like 0.2 seconds. This receiver, this guy's blocker, actually gave an effort, so I'll give him that. He just missed the block. Witherspoon
Yeah,
powers right through it and just completely blows the play up.
yeah. No, that's definitely a great play. Um, really excited too. Seems like
This is probably his best play,
yeah.
or his most noteworthy play, I would say.
Is this on Penix or the backup? I can't remember, but this was a beautiful pass breakup. Uh,
Oh, good night.
yeah,
See you later. Like, look at that. That's a
clean.
cornerback. That is a cornerback hitting that hard, lowering the shoulder, causing the. Oh my God, that's just beautiful. Just
And you can't
absolutely.
really do this anymore in the modern NFL. Like, I mean, this is as clean as it can get. Like, this is probably as good of a hit you can make as a defender.
Just completely clean his clock. So I think scouts see that and they just they start salivating. Like, this guy will be able, wherever he goes, he is going to step in and make an impact.
Yeah, I mean, just dislodges the football. Very sure-handed player. Um, good length too for a guy his size, just a tad under 6 feet. Um, but yeah, no, definitely good. And we have one last play, Andy. This is against the Spartans. This displays his speed right here. Again, not the fastest guy in the world, but he is quick and he can make plays when your team's backed up in the red zone, as we see here against the Spartans. It just shoots in like a missile.
I mean, and that's a great example, Tom, of how he's able to help in the run game, right? He's not. I mean, he was great in coverage. He was PFF's highest rated man coverage guy last year. But he can help you on the run. Like, look at how quickly he again, play recognition. I've said that like a million times in this short show, but he snuffed it out from the start, turned what potentially could have been a score into
Look where he
a loss.
starts. Look where he starts to play too.
Right.
Look where he starts to play. He's the guy that's furthest back.
Farthest away from it, and is the first guy to the ball. Just impressive. Just impressive. I like what you said, though. He may be lacking in speed, but he's still quick.
Yeah.
Like, he's not fat. Like, he's quick.
Yeah.
A little slippery. I like it. I love it.
I'd rather a corner be quick and good than fast and too many flaws, NFL draft prospect Devon Witherspoon out of Illinois. Film breakdown. Andy, I want to thank you personally for joining us. But before we let you go, any final thoughts on Devon Witherspoon in this year's NFL draft and what you hope for him to accomplish in the NFL?
Man, I hope he accomplishes whatever he sets out to accomplish, man. 21st All-American in Illinois history. The first defensive back All-American in Illinois history. It was a pleasure to watch you, sir. Suit up in the orange and blue. You're an all-time great, Dev. So yeah, I mean, my final thoughts are, dude, I'm rooting wherever he goes. I'm rooting the hell out of him. I hope he becomes an all-pro. I hope he wins a Super Bowl. I hope he accomplishes everything he sets out to. I think whoever gets him is getting a hell of a ball player, and he will rep them well. Like I said, this will be the first top 10 pick in Illinois football since Dana Hardy and those guys. Which you said, Tom, 25 years ago, something like that. It's just doesn't happen every day that a guy walks in to Champaign and especially as a very unheralded recruit kind of coming out of nowhere and then turns into a top 10 pick. It's just special, man. That's my thoughts are he's a winner. Like we saw on the tape, the guy's not afraid to go hit somebody, not afraid to go up and get the ball. Just a winner. So I'm excited for him.
Folks, if you like this film breakdown with Andy Hopper, make sure to go check him out at the Brew Party. And Andy, I'll let you plug that where people can find you and your content. Just put a nice little short on the Masters that I actually watched. That was a lot of fun. I do work some golf from time to time, so great to see.
Yeah, that
Great to
was
see you back on there. By the way, I'm very happy.
Yeah,
about that.
year-long hiatus. I'm back doing my very best to post weekly content. So look out for that. Typically post on Thursdays. Like Tom said, the last one we did was just a couple of my buddies, Grant Baker and Luke Wilson. We did some Masters talk, Masters picks. And it's always a fun time because we're just three idiots get together and have a good time. But yeah, so look out next week. I am hoping to do a little draft preview, short 30-ish minute video, doing some draft preview stuff. So look out for that coming. We're at the Brew Party on Twitter and Instagram, at the Brew Party Podcast on Facebook, and then youtube.com/the Brew Party. Like, comment, subscribe. And then I'm also a part of another podcast called Edging the Truth. So that is a conspiracy theory podcast where we also try not to take ourselves too seriously, and we have a good time. We're posting weekly content there. Just posted a new episode today, actually. So edgingthetruth.com for all that. If you're interested in a little comedy, fun podcast, tries not to take itself too seriously. That's pretty much my vibe. As you can see, if you were watching this, I typically like to crack open a couple cold ones and shoot the shit. Let's talk some ball. I just like talking ball at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And Andy's a great dude, and you might see more of Andy Hopper next week on our live draft special. So Stay tuned for that, folks. Andy, appreciate you once again, and we'll catch you all, folks, on the next video.